Okay. Life coaching, all you life coaches out there and everyone who talks about life coaching. All right. This is about to get real. Okay. You're claiming you're a life coach. So let me ask you this first. What's life? What is life? Actually, like, can you take down on a piece of paper and write up, what is life? You might be like, oh, it's my living. It's me from age 0 to age 80, whatever. It's like, okay. Life is the very principle of doing what is best for everyone and everything. If you look at life, if you study, like I'll study ecosystems, I'll study biology, and you'll see that the ecosystem will optimize for what's best for the whole. It will optimize for what's best for all. You ever see, like, there's a certain population, the population gets too big, then the other population comes in and, like, it'd be like, let's say like foxes and rabbits or whatever. It hits this equilibrium point. One gets overpopulated, the whole ecosystem adjusts, and it finds this optimal balance. So you as a life coach, are you being a life coach so you can actually create a world that's best for all? Or are you being a life coach because you just need to make money? Now, if you just need to make money, that's fine. I'm not judging that. I'm a capitalist, I'm an entrepreneur, right? But if you're claiming to be this life coach and you don't even know the very definition of life, screw you, right? Change it, okay? Check out my other videos too, because you'll be able to, like, again, for those of you who can handle hearing this, the realness of this, check out the other videos that I have. Let's connect and I can show you some different ways of looking at what is life and what is coaching. Now, for those of you who got so triggered and you're like, who is this guy who's an asshole talking like this, right? You're not qualified to be a life coach for anybody. If you're not willing to at least be able to separate yourself from your reactions and listen and just process what someone is saying, you're not qualified to be a life coach. You should hang up your degree, whatever you paid for your degree or however you became a life coach, or within yourself, you have the audacity to say, yes, I am worthy of being a life coach. It's like, no, you don't. You probably don't know the first thing about how life in the human actually works. For example, do you know the difference between the unconscious mind and the conscious mind? If not, you got some research to do, okay? You got a lot of change that needs to happen before you're qualified to help another person. And for those of you who go, well, I'm just a little bit ahead of my clients and I help people have breakthroughs and stuff. Do you have people that have fundamental lasting breakthroughs or just like a feel-good moment? Because a feel-good moment is actually delusion. It actually can harm somebody. Did you know that? A feel-good breakthrough moment can actually be detrimental to somebody. Why would I say something as outrageous as that? It's because guess what? I know some amazing people who've had cool breakthrough moments on a path that's leading them astray. Like, I have so many people in my network who are like trying to do wholesale real estate. And they're like, yeah, I finally got my first contract and it's almost ready. And so they have this breakthrough feeling. They feel great. They're like, yes, my first contract, it's almost gonna be there. And then guess what? It may or may not actually go through. And 3 months later, 6 months later, they come back to me and they're like, dude, I'm done with wholesaling. This sucks. It's like, yeah, guess what? Because the starting point was screwed. But it's like that type of situation. Like, again, you can have really great feelings and be on the wrong path. And you can have bad feelings and be on the best path. How do you know the difference? Well, here, let me be your interim life coach. Because I actually know what life means and I know what coaching means, okay? So coaching, right? Coaching is about getting people and supporting people to move themselves in ways that are actually best for themselves and for everyone around them, and to live and integrate the right principles by which to live. What's a principle? Again, if you don't know what a principle is, you should definitely not be a life coach, right? A principle is a fundamental truth or an axiom, a basis by which you can live and act, okay? So you don't have your feelings running the show, your feelings dictating, and it's like the orchestra conductor in the background going, oh, well, this feels good and this feels bad, whatever. It's like, fuck your feelings, right? One of my favorite lines ever, fuck your feelings. Because your feelings, you don't even know where your feelings came from. You're like a robot. And it's like, I'll push a button and you automatically feel a certain way. Like, I can say certain words that will just make you get triggered. Isn't that what a robot is? Input, output. So a real way of now starting to look at your life and you becoming your own life coach. Like, how about you just set up your life so it's so amazing so you don't need a life coach? But in order to do that, you will have to have certain tools. Because again, back to this unconscious, conscious mind point. If you don't know where your unconscious mind comes from, you don't know where your thoughts come from. It comes from your programming. Were you in control of your programming as a young child? No. I watched this video of me when I was born. okay? It's really fascinating. There's like footage of me like in the hospital room or whatever, okay? And my like great grandma's holding me. And my great grandma is holding me and she's going, she's like rocking me or whatever. And then she's talking to my mom or someone else in the room, talking about some coupon that she found in some book. It's for like Sears. It's like one of these department stores here. And so think about that. From hour 5 of my life, first day on my birthday, I'm literally getting impulsed with the idea of coupons, shopping, department stores. And for anyone who thinks, well, that doesn't have an effect on you, you don't understand the first thing about how human programming works. We're so programmed, you don't even know how programmed you are. We have something in our world, this amazing phenomenon, programming, right? And it comes from images, sounds, right? Colors even. And it goes way back deep. Like, Hollywood, right? These corporations, advertisements, McDonald's, billboards, they don't throw billions of dollars at something not without understanding it. They know exactly what they're doing. Think about billboards. You go past that motion, it's like going right into the unconscious. And for those of you who are like, well, I'm not influenced by programming and I have a strong will and determination, it's like, okay, have you figured out how to solve the problems of the world yet? Have you figured out how to solve all the problems in your life yet? Probably not. Okay, so let's now look at what matters here. First, you gotta be your own life coach. And to do that, you have to understand something called programming. Then it's not enough to just be aware of it. Now next is take responsibility for it. You have to realize that there's certain speeds in which information can get in and out of the unconscious. That's why movies, you ever notice in those old school movies where it'll do the circle and it'll be like 10, it'll be like beep, 10, 9, 8, 7, right? And it's like got the circle going around. Do you know that that's actually designed to put you into a trance? Really fascinating when you look at it. And it's in all these movies, right? Or like high-speed imagery. You watch Sports Center, watch the news. Why do they always have stuff going on the bottom of the screen like that? Why do all these news companies have in the corner a globe in that image? It's because they do research on this stuff. Government, military, they've been doing research on this stuff for like 50, 60 years, probably longer, okay? You gotta understand the first thing about programming, because guess what? You as life in a human body, you run off of programs. Your DNA that's replicating right now, the thing that's making your heart beat, the thing that's making hormones in your brain be secreted, the thing in you that gets triggered when I say certain words, that's all a result of programming, okay? So if you want to coach yourself into a better life, guess what? You first and foremost, you gotta understand programming. Now, second, again, it's not enough to just be aware of it. There's a couple things that you have to use. One, you gotta use this tool called TechnoTutor. It's the only tool out there that can systematically rebuild every last program within you. From words to letters to numbers to concepts to ideas, beliefs, everything, you can rebuild it all at the perfect unconscious level. So it's in there and it will change. Don't believe me? Watch my other videos. You can see the amazing home I live in, my amazing wife, the business that I run, everything. It's profound. The other thing that you need is something called self-forgiveness. Because forgiveness, right? The very essence of life is for giving, but also it's forgiving. You don't need God, you don't need the priest to get your forgiveness from them. You can forgive yourself. And again, for those of you who got triggered by that just shows you how you're programmed. Amazing, right? Super profound, right? Okay, now the last part that I'm gonna talk about here in this video is stop depending on other people, but at the same time, realize you're interdependent with other people. So become someone who's dependable, where your word means something. Or when you say, hey, I'm gonna do something, or hey, I'm gonna be here at 8 p.m., you're there at 8 p.m. Or when you make commitments, you actually follow through on them, where your word means something. Then you enter into agreement with other people around you, and you have this amazing network of people, and then you're able to then have a real platform by which you can build with other people. So you have to have community around you of people that are awesome. And that, my friends, for those of you who are looking for a life coach, or you are a life coach, or you've heard of life coaching, this is why it's so screwed. It's because the average life coach took one course or read one book or something, and they have this amazing idea of, I'm going to be a life coach. It sounds convenient, and people will pay me money just for me to talk. But they don't know the first thing about life, coaching, programming, how the mind works, how self-forgiveness works, how to get information in or out, and they don't even understand how to have real community where you can fundamentally level up because everyone's in agreement with that. Okay? There's a lot more to reality in life than you probably thought. It's much more than just what you read in your biology textbook in your indoctrination camp, aka school that you went to as a kid. And yeah, for anyone who can actually hear this and wants more information like this, reach out and just hit me in the DMs, because leave a comment, whatever, but hit me in the DMs, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And just, if you watch this video on life coaching and you're curious just to hear more of like, wonder what this guy means, hit me with the word life coaching. I'm not going to go say, I'm going to be your life coach. I'm not a life coach, but I do understand life and I do understand coaching, but I'm a human. I have principles that I live by. I make these videos so I can share this with people, because the world needs way more people with real principles making videos. Otherwise, guess what's going to get your attention? Nicki Minaj, CNN, Putin, Russia, Ukraine, all the shit happening in the world, instead of people stepping up with real solutions. And the real solutions happen from us working together and realizing we're programmable beings, living in a programmable reality, and we can fundamentally change that so that we can make the programming in the world that happens really awesome, instead of it being McDonald's and CNN and all these corporations that are just programming us to be consumers. If you haven't seen the documentary Century of the Self, CENTURY of the Self, SELF, watch it. You'll see how all this consumerism programming has manipulated and destroyed life, almost destroyed life, but life is still here. So for any of you who still have a little spark of life, the real life left in you, that principle that says, I want to actually do the best thing with my life, reach out, all right, before it's too late. All right, see ya.